This is a very quick, very basic setup of a contraption I saw on YouTube. You can tell the magnet poles are opposite because the poles of one star are going between the poles of the other. If I try and line these up, they repel. Now, they're repelling each other, but if I pushed a bar in between them, in theory they should attract the bar on one side, and by pulling together on one side like so, and attracting and repelling each other. I need to pull this out again, it's flopping around. The bar itself's a bit loose. By repelling each other, but by being attracted to the bar, if they're being attracted on this side and repelled on that side, they should spin. The idea is that they spin without any input of energy whatsoever, and I patented the idea and make myself incredibly rich. Unfortunately, that's where the fairy tale ends, because the bar has some difference. You can see them move slightly, I push it in, but then they find an equilibrium. Now, trying to figure out the magnetic force lines is what's going on, and unfortunately beyond my imagination. But you know, the pair of low friction bearings, it's all very wonky. It's really a very quick knock up. With a pair of low friction bearings, you know, if anything's going to turn, that should, but it doesn't. And even as I'm sat here filming, I'm trying to figure out where the flux lines are going. It's almost as if there's a load of springs between each one pushing them apart. And even though I've just distorted the springs by pushing the bar in, you know, magnetic springs, magnetic fields, it's found an equilibrium. And I can't figure out in my head how that is. I take another magnet. I've got two colours of Geomag set here. It's a combination, a very knock-up combination of Geomag and Fischertechnik. The Geomag's the coloured magnet, and the Fischertechnik's the grey stuff. Yeah, that's an opposite pole. It's repelling. It's repelling the poles of the star. But if I turn it round, it does actually attract it. So again, oops, you put the magnet between, it should attract on this side and repel on that side, and the two stars should spin furiously until they fly apart with an unimaginable force. But they don't, they just kind of sit there. So, Perpetual motion machine, spectacular fail. Now, I know according to the various principles of physics, was it Newton's famous spoil sport law that says you can't get something for nothing? Well, this machine shows no wish to defy that law. The problem is I cannot figure out what's going on. I can't picture in my head what's happening with the magnetic flux lines. And oops, that's an opposite. That's obviously a track. The red and the blue colour is not significant. It's just I've got two different colours of magnets. These are getting a bit wonky, and I was wondering what the grey stuff is. It's called Fischertechnik. Great constructional system. We have heaps of it. Good stuff. There's more of it over there in those stacking boxes. There's more of it over there in those boxes. But there's even some of it up on the window. There's two solar panel stands made of it. But no, that's Fischertechnik, and the other stuff, when the exposure readjusts itself, is a Geomag set. Well, actually two small Geomag sets. But they're just sort of silvery balls and magnets that clip together to make various things. And I know all those magnets are the same way around, because what I did was I had them like that, and I broke up a whole sausage of them, making sure that the same end went on the centre ball. And so the ends inwards, I'll say the north ends of these blue magnets, the red magnets would be the south end and the south end, so the magnetic fields are going round that way. So if that's the south pole, I don't know which, that would be the north pole to the south pole, the north pole, south pole, north pole. So the flux lines would go around in a donut, same for underneath. And so got effectively two donut shaped sets of flux lines, and that's repelling again. So wherever I wave this wand, it's definitely repelling, it's pushing the poles away. Now wherever I wave this wand, I'm disturbing that set of flux lines, and I wave that around. That's the attracting end. It's funny, it does have some effect, but it finds an equilibrium, it doesn't spin. So Newton's law, which can't remember which one it was now, not the third law, is it? There's opposite action and reaction and blah blah blah. Can't remember which law it is. What's it? Energy can't be created or destroyed. But yeah, it's clearly there's obviously magnetic fields or lines around there, because I wave this wand about, it is interfering with them, but no motion. So God, I've been filming for 7 minutes. God, I've rattled on, haven't I? Now, it's a great advert for Fischertechnik and Geomag. I mean, there's more Fischertechnik. That thing there is an electronic controller. Again, it's Fischertechnik. You can program it on your computer that makes things move. Very intelligent piece of kit. But unfortunately, it can't run without energy, which is what we've been trying to do here. And it does seem to be, magnetic flux lines do seem to have a way of compensating for what you're trying to do, and in effect thwarting world domination. I'm magnetising that bow now, putting the other thing on the end of it, and again it's obviously having an effect, but it's not causing it to spin. These are quite weak magnets. A French built machine I saw on the internet had much more powerful magnets, but they're also geared together. These aren't geared because I can't be bothered to rig up cogwheels. I may, if I get the enthusiasm, build a more powerful machine with button mode, with Neomags, and on discs, on cogs like the French invention. But given that I actually don't think it's going to work, I hardly see the point. I mean, I'd fiddle around with this, I've moved these about, all sorts of configurations. And I know it's not supposed to work. What I can't figure out is why it doesn't work. I can't get my head around the various goings on. The magnetic flux lines will be effectively going around in a donut shape because of the way I've got these arranged. Out and then back in the middle, or vice versa, depending which way around they are, I don't know. All I do know is that it's opposite. The poles on each one is trying to go in between the poles of the other, so they're obviously repelling each other. And so I know for sure that they're opposite poles, but my camera's going to time out very soon. It's going to be prattling on for so long. There's more Fischertechnik there. It's a wind turbine model with the blades taken off for portability. And so yeah, so great advert for Fischertechnik and Geomag, but unfortunately my engine, my self-propelled perpetual motion, make me incredibly rich and put the oil companies out of business. Engine is not working. Damn. I'll just have to go back to burning oil and coal and gas like everyone else. What a pity. Anyway, it's a bit of fun.